Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here. Studio Ghibli is one of the most
Ghibli!
Pardon?
It's Studio Ghibli! He's such an asshole.
Not this argument again. Toshio Suzuki, the co-founder of Studio Ghibli and a producer of many Studio Ghibli films, calls it Studio Ghibli. That's why I call it Studio Ghibli, okay? So no complaining. Let's move on. Studio Ghibli is one of the most successful animation studios on the planet. They have produced such movies as Ponyo, Howl's Moving Castle, and the hit motion picture Spirited Away. In this episode, I'm going to take a look at one of Ghibli's movies, From Up on Poppy Hill.
From Up on Poppy Hill is a Japanese animated romantic drama. What's it about? Well, Umi is a hard-working girl who is committed to the needs of the residents in her grandma's boarding house. Her life is a by-the-clock routine, and every day she raises some signal flags in hopes that they'll be read by her dad, a sailor who died during the Korean War. Things change when she meets Shun, a boy who is leading a protest to preserve her beloved clubhouse, which is being threatened by demolition. Shun's passionate fight to save the clubhouse inspires Umi to join the cause. She brings in volunteers to help clean the building up and joins Shun's political battle all the way to the top. While all this is going off, Shun and Umi end up developing romantic feelings for each other, but discover that they might be blood related. So, can our characters save the clubhouse? And is Umi really Shun's sister? Only time will tell. I found this movie to be a disappointing watch. Sure, it's sweet, cute, and very funny at times, but it lacks the magic of previous Ghibli films. It's not a bad movie, but I have to admit that sometimes it did bore me, and I drifted out of interest now and again. So, what works and what doesn't work? Well, I think that the film's strongest aspect is the residents of the clubhouse. They're all divided into academic subjects and there's a rivalry between each club, but every one of them loves the clubhouse. It's their affection for the building that brings them together into a community. Sure, we don't get to know every single clubhouse member personally, but each one is hilariously geeky and the bickering between the clubs can be amusingly funny. The charm of the clubhouse students is what made me root for their goal to save their beloved building from demolition. Now, the hardest thing for me to talk about is the possible incestuous tension between the two lead characters. The idea of Shun and Umi possibly being brother and sister is bound to discomfort many viewers. I won't deny that. It certainly made me feel awkward. However, I can confirm that this film does a decent job of two things. First of all, it really captures the feelings that a teenager would go through if they found out that their crush may be their blood relation. When Umi discovers that Shun is possibly her brother, she is torn up inside and heartbroken. You can really feel her sadness and confusion. Second of all, the actual romance between Shun and Umi is believable, even if there's a chance it may be incestuous. They share many scenes together where they bond intimately, and you can sense a chemistry between them both. However, the film doesn't really take its romance anywhere, even after the truth is revealed, so you may be disappointed if you're hoping for a satisfying conclusion to all their romantic tension. This makes the film's story feel somewhat unfinished, because we never find out how Umi and Shun handle the truth. The main problem I had with this film was that I found myself feeling uninterested in what was going on sometimes, because the film struggles to find a focus. Is it about the romance? Is it about family? Or is it about the clubhouse? I wasn't sure, and it felt like the film wasn't sure either. It darts between its plots without a concentrated idea of what it wants to be about. In addition, some of the scenes do end up becoming long-winded, plus some scenes lack excitement, humor, or drama. I liked how relaxed the film is, but sometimes it gets too relaxed and ends up becoming boring. Like I said before, this film is missing the magic and energy of other Ghibli films. Umi is hands-on, practical, sweet, and polite. I like that she's mature and strong-willed for her age, but at the same time she shows a very human side that's vulnerable, soft-hearted, and sensitive. She's so dedicated to caring for the residents of her grandma's boarding house that she barely has time to live her life. It's the clubhouse that brings her out of her mundane routines and into a passionate fight for preservation. She may not be as fascinating as, say, Princess Mononoke, but she's still a pleasant protagonist to follow. Shun is brave, charming, and cool. What makes him so likable is his relentless passion for the clubhouse and his dedication to preserving the home of his club. He'll speak his mind and stand up for what he believes in, but he does know how to be a sensible gentleman in the presence of adults. Like most Studio Ghibli productions, the animation is very good. It has fluid movement and emotive facial expressions. But I have to ask one question. Why did it need to be animated? It could have easily translated to live action. I mean, the characters don't look hyper-stylistic and there's no fantasy elements or over-the-top cartoon physics. Don't get me wrong, it's great animation, but the movie doesn't embrace the possibilities of its animation. There doesn't seem to be a point for it to be a fully animated feature. If you're going to produce an animated film, then you should make good use of the animation, because there's things animation can do that live action can't. Animation can break scientific physics, make animals seem as expressive as human beings, and bring surreal or stylistic things to life. Like I said, it's not bad animation, it's very good. It just doesn't seem justified. I saw this movie in its English dub format, which was directed by the renowned sound artist Gary Rydstrom, who also directed the US English dub for Arrietty. The voices for this dub sound natural, charming, and well-timed. Sarah Bulger gives Umi a mature, strong, and emotive voice. Anton Yelchin sounds cool and charismatic as Shun. There's also some stellar vocal performances from Jamie Lee Curtis, Beau Bridges, and filmmaker Ron Howard, who are each surprisingly unrecognizable because they're so invested in their characters. It's a strong English dub that's directed with care, but I can't compare it to the original Japanese dub because I haven't seen it. The music for this film is very different compared to other Ghibli music scores, because it has its own unique identity. It sounds nostalgic and warm thanks to a jazzy honky-tonk feel. These busy jazz pieces are perfect for scenes focused on hard-working students, because their cleaning matches the music's rhythm. However, the score isn't constantly jolly. No, it knows when to settle down and presents soft piano pieces for sentimental scenes.
To conclude, From Up on Poppy Hill was a disappointing watch for me. Sure, the clubhouse residents are highly entertaining, and the romance is believable even though it's a little awkward to watch. However, the romance doesn't go anywhere, and the film can be a bit boring sometimes. In addition, the animation doesn't feel justified. I'm going to give this film 3 signal flag stars out of 5. Now, if some of you are still wondering whether this movie is your cup of tea, then consider this. If you enjoyed Studio Ghibli's other romantic movie, Whisper of the Heart, then I think you might enjoy this movie too. I've been Jambareeqi, and I hope you've enjoyed my review. Feel free to subscribe to my channel to check out other videos that are like this. I also encourage you to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Next week, I'll be taking a look at a surprise. That's right, you won't be able to find out what it is until the next episode, because it'll be Christmas. Ooh, what's it gonna be? Ooh, is it gonna be a recognizable Christmas title or an obscure Christmas cartoon? Cheerio, folks.